Hi everybody, this is a tutorial about adding texture or noise to your images in Photoshop. Okay, so let's start at the beginning, and that is to open up a picture. The computer seems to be running a bit on the slow side today, so there we go. All right, I'm going to use this one. All right, so I've imported a photo. This one to me is just a little bit dark, so I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm going to go to curves. I like using curves for light adjustments as it just kind of gives you the most option. So we have lighter values up here, darker values down here. So what I can do is actually just slide this up and I will lighten up some of the darker values and then lighten up some of the lighter values and then come in here in the middle and lighten up some of the midtones. Okay, I can also try to use auto. Let's see what that does. Nothing. All right. Well, that was almost a waste. So let's see. Let's go back. Kind of right in there. There we go. Somewhere in there. That works for me. I just wanted to lighten it up a little bit so that I could see a little bit more what was going in the background here. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you two methods and then how to put the two methods together to create another, a different method, okay? So the first one is to take the image that you have and just duplicate it on a layer. So Control J. So I'm down here. I had a layer 0, and then layer 0 copy. I duplicated it. And then I'm going to come up to Filter and Convert for Smart Filters. Okay, and then click OK. So that is converted. Now I can go back to Filter and then come down to Blur Gallery and choose any of those blur galleries. In fact, they're all right here listed on the right-hand side anyway. We need a little bit of blur. We don't need a lot to start with. I'm going to come down to noise. And so this texture that I'm going to put on is going to be a grain noise. Okay. So I'm going to add a whole bunch. So you can see that. Um, this is the amount of blur, or the size of the blur itself that's kind of coming out from those grains. And so I'm going to just click on a little bit here. Roughness, we can increase or decrease that. All right, that looks okay to me. I'm just adding a little bit. So we could stop here, right? All we have to do is click OK. And then now we're set. And boom, we can save the image and there is added grain, added texture, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to click out of here. Here's my original picture once again. My second method is I'm going to open up textures that I have downloaded. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of textures here. I'm going to take one and drag it and drop it onto my image. I'm going to hold the Shift and the Alt key down and grab from the corner and pull. Now, if you notice, this is expanding from the center, so everything stays uh, properly expanded. I'm not like manipulating this in any way, or this image. I'm going to hit the Enter key or Return to set it. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here to my blend modes. And right now I'm on normal. So I'm going to just start scrolling through. Here's darker color, lighten, screen, color dodge, linear dodge, lighter color, overlay. So this is the basic overlay. We would normally kind of go to this right away, but I think that there's so many other variants here that sometimes the pictures ask. They like ask for another version. Okay. So this one's divide. Like to me, this is quite brutal in um, the picture itself. Totally changes the way the original picture is and feels, and is now. I can change the opacity on this so I can lessen the amount of texture that we see over the image. I am kind of a fan of 100% there. Um, and that's a divide. So it doesn't really matter what you use the one that you like. Okay. So I'm going to bring this back to normal like that. I'm going to open up the blur, the smart filter that we put in with the grain earlier. And then now I'm going to, so I've got the texture on, I've got the grain on, and now I'm going to come through and see what both of them do together. So there we go. That's kind of fun. That's interesting. Color dodge, linear dodge, overlay. So the more that you use these, the more that you kind of start getting a feel for the type of image you want. Okay. So for me, for whatever reason on this one, divide seems to be what's speaking to me today. Um, Let me see about maybe reducing some of that texture overlay. Yeah, like that. Okay. Now to me, that's like an image right from maybe 1920, some type of Northern European um, person. I don't know. Like I almost feel like um, it's an amateur photographer absolutely took this picture. Right. That's just the way it feels. So um, I showed you how to do a smart filter. That's this one. So smart filter. I showed you how to add texture just over the top with a texture layer, or by adding them both together and creating something even more spectacular. All right. If you have any questions, give me a holler. And but I hope you enjoyed this one, and I want you to try it. Okay, give this one a shot. All right. We'll talk to you later. Have fun.